Hello aspirants, welcome to Spardha Lines. Today is day 2 where we are discussing GPS General Study Edition. Yesterday we have discussed the questions on ancient and medieval history. To continue it, we are discussing the questions on art and culture. So before going to actual discussion, we'll have some brief idea of what we are exactly doing. That what we are doing, we are going through the PYQs, previous year questions. From these previous year questions, we have find out some recurring themes, and based on these themes, we are preparing the standard templates. And this standard template will be using in future if the question comes on same themes. So many of you are asking that why we need the standard template. So everybody knows that UPSC usually asks 20 questions in GS1. Out of 20 questions, 10 question will be for 10 marker. We need to write in 150 words, and 10 question would be for 15 markers that we need to write in 250 words. So these all 20 questions we need to write in 3 hours. So how we distribute the time is generally we will write the 10 marker questions in 7 minutes and 15 marker question in 11 minutes. So in this limited time, you need to prepare the content and present it in very effective way. So for that, if you have the well prepared standard template, so the recurring themes you can deal with quickly. So rather than writing answer in 7 minutes, if you have good enough speed, you can write in 6 minutes, or you can write in 5 minutes 30 seconds. So that remaining time you can devote to the tackle the dynamic question. So this is the general vision behind bringing this initiative. So now let's start our actual discussion. That we are seeing the previous year questions of the art and culture, and we have found some themes. So before going to the themes, we'll see the generally how we are going to do is to conduct this session. So first, our focus when we see the question is the decoding question. When we decode the question, 3 things we usually see: the context, theme, and the directive word. So the context and theme will use to for introduction, and the directive word will use to make the parts in our actual body part. Also the context that many of the students, aspirants who forgot to decode it, but the decoding context is most important part if you want to score more marks in the 10 marker or 15 marker. So next part is understanding the demand. So when it comes to understanding demand, we need to identify the context and the core demand. So if the question is carrying some context and core demand, so usually the UPSC will expect you that you just need to decode the context, and you need to devote the 80% to 90% part of your answer on articulating this your core demand. So this is very important parts when it comes to answer writing, that identifying the context and core demand. So core demand will carry the more marks. Context is to just need to decode and bring the flow in answer. So after that, main part of body answer writing, that is the introduction part. Yesterday we have seen that we are going with one standard approach. That first, when it comes to ancient and medieval history or the art and culture, we are going with the factual information. So in introduction, we are going to mention the factual information. Per se, if the question is on any art and culture of any particular dynasty, then we'll mention the period of the dynasty, the founder, and other the crucial information as per the context. So this would be our standard introduction for all the questions. Then structure part and the presentation part. So when it comes to structure, the structure is corely based on our core demand. So what the question has asked in the actual with respect to theme, that we are going to structure it in a proper way. So when it comes to structure, directive word become more important. If say the question is mentioning the critically analyze, examine, or other evaluate kind of directive words, then we need to bring the opinion which will favor the given context, and also we need to analyze the critically, means we need to bring the shortcoming, the limitations, or the any kind of like we need to bring the critical opinion of that particular theme. So this become important when it comes to structure. The next part is the presentation. Again, yesterday we have discussed when it to presentation, there are two types of presentation. First is the aesthetic part. Here usually we will be drawing the flow charts, diagrams, maps, etc. So it will be when we decode the question, actually that time majorly we are going to use the flow chart. So again, if the question is on temple architecture, we can draw the rough diagram of temple. Again, if the question is on expansion, or we need to show some major location of particular particular theme, then we can use the map to improve this aesthetic part of our answer. Then second part of the answer presentation is the content presentation. So when it comes to content presentation, again we are going with one standard approach, that we are going to write the micro headings, and these micro headings will be expanding with the help of example, or with the if we don't have example, then simply we further will explain that particular theme. So these micro headings with respect to subparts we are going to prepare here only, and these micro headings will be uniform to all the themes, and but just depending on the context or depending on the theme, we will be changing the example. Okay, then the last part of answer writing is the conclusion. So again we are going with our standard approach, that we are concluding either linking with the government scheme, if government is bringing any scheme to preserve any kind of our architecture, sculptures, so we'll mention that one. Then we can again link it to any kind of keyword. So mostly used keyword is the Ek Bharat Shrestha Bharat, particular art form or particular well developed architecture, how it is bringing the cultural integration, and that helping in like achieving our major objective, that is Ek Bharat Shrestha Bharat, or we can link it to Amrit Dharohar. So these kind of keywords we can use it here. So again after that we can use one more thing, one more way we can conclude, that is the positive or balanced conclusion. So this aspect we'll majorly use when we'll write the in second last part, when we'll write the critical to the theme, like we are writing the limitations, shortcomings, then again we'll highlight the some positive aspects of that particular theme in conclusion. So our conclusion automatically becomes positive. So this would be our standard approach when it comes to writing introduction, structure, and presentation part. Next some aspect we need to remember, that is the bringing flow in answer. To bring flow in answer, we can use the joiners like however, thus, or you can use the despite. So basically these words will help you in bringing the flow in answer when you change the dimension. Again, the validation part, that is the more important if you want to score more marks. If in art and culture, what is the validation, then we can mention the name of places, we can mention the dynasty or particular personality associated with art form, major patrons. So this aspect we can use as a value addition in this one. Again we can include some period related or other things. So depending on context, we will see what value addition can be done in particular kind of question. So after this brainstorming, we'll move towards the themes. what are the recurring themes when it comes to art and architecture. First is the architecture. In architecture, they ask the temple architecture, what kind of temple architecture developed in particular time period, or like which kind of temple architecture patronized by particular dynasty. So the cave architecture, that also becomes major theme context. They may ask rock cut architecture or Buddhist caves. This kind of themes also they usually repeat. So we are going to deal with this also. Then the second recurring theme is culture of society. So here also we are going to prepare one standard approach where how we will deal with the culture. When it comes to culture, we are going to with some standard micro headings. So first would be culture. Again, it includes the architecture. So that one becomes again one point. Then again the culture of the society, it becomes the values. After values, we can write about the religion or sectorial development. Then we can mention about the paintings. So basically, we will be writing about the arts form. So here we will write the art. In the art again will divide between among some points that we will see the paintings, here sculptures. Then again we can see the literature. So this kind of aspect again. After that we can see the diet, the tiers of peoples. So this would be our standard point. Again, the as the context changes, we will see how we can bring the points depending on the particular theme. So after this, next recurring theme is the Bhakti movement. So here we'll take the Bhakti movement as a one standard point, and then UPSC might ask question as a whole on Bhakti movement, or they may ask on the particular any Bhakti son. But we'll be preparing some standard approach. We'll see the what was the actual view of that Bhakti son. Then the way of preaching, about his social base, his teaching, then about the literatures or the language. Okay, after that we can see his views on social order. So this kind of standard point we are going to see, and these points we are going to apply any kind of Bhakti movement. If they ask some Veerashaiva movement, or they let them ask some Warkari movement from Maharashtra, so we can use this kind of these standard points, and we'll be expanding with examples. So as the context changes, that Bhakti movement or the that personality changes, will bring the example from that particular context, but these points will be same for every kind of Bhakti movement question. Then the next part is converging topics. So converging topics in the sense they can bring the dynasty and art and culture together. They can bring the particular social period or culture, Bhakti movement. So it would be they will bring 2-3 themes together and they will ask question. We'll decode this when we'll see the actual question. Then the next part is the art and culture. For this also our approach going to same as we just seen. What would be our approach, standard micro headings, that would be the when it comes to art, we'll be writing about the architecture, then painting, literature, then we can write about sculptures, and so on. Whatever the content will actually see what kind of micro headings, standard micro headings we can use when we see the particular theme. Again, when it comes to culture, we'll see the values of society, then their religion or sects, their beliefs we can add it here. So what was the social order, then the gender aspect we can bring it here. Again we can bring the dietary habit, tire. So these kinds of aspects we can bring when we'll deal with the cultural question. So now we'll see the actual questions based on these themes. So based on these actual questions and themes, we are going to prepare one standard template also, and this template will use if the question, if the in future UPSC repeats the same theme. So this approach we are going template we are going to use there also, and also we are going to see how to decode question and write introduction, conclusion. These are all answer writing aspect. Now the first theme is the architecture, where they are asking about the temple. Now if you see the question is the Chola architecture represent high water mark in evolution of temple architecture, discuss. Now if you see the first we will discuss about the theme and the context. Now the theme, if you see the temple architecture, as we discussed, temple architecture is the theme here. Now it comes to context. If you see what question is telling, Chola architecture represent high watermark in evolution of temple architecture. So this becomes our context. They are telling that context, it is the watermark movement. So and evolution. So there are some background development when it comes to temple architecture Chola. So we need to bring that background element. So basically after writing introduction, what we will write our introduction, that is about the standard facts about the Chola, the founder of Chola, their period. Okay, and also we can, it is asking about the temple architecture. So we can mention the places of or names of prominent temples. So these three aspects we can use for introduction here. Then again the context, decoding the context. So here we need to decode evolution of temple architecture during Chola. Not during Chola, evolution of temple, Chola temple architecture, we can mention it as. So now when we see the evolution, we need to write about the Pallavas. So how the evolution started in Pallavas, that was the first the Mandapam. Then Mandapam, then it is evolved into monolithic Rathas. Then it is a structural temple started. And Cholas, after that succeeded by Chola introduced Panchayatan temple. Panchayatan temple. So here we can write about this way, Pallava temple architecture, and here we can write as Chola. So this figure we can name it as like figure evolution of temple architecture from Pallava to Chola. So this is about the decoding the context. We have decoded the evolution of temple architecture, and this bringing or decoding the context will make your answer different from the other answer, and here you will get the more marks. So you need to, when it comes to question, you need to identify theme and context. So now I hope you have understood why there is important to decode the context. Now next aspect is the body part. Now we'll see the core demand. So again we see the Chola architecture what marked represent high watermark in evolution of temple architecture. We decoded evolution. Now we'll see why it was the watermark. So because it was watermark, because it is developed a distinct Dravidian temple architecture, and we will writing the features. So when it write the feature, first we will obviously write the Panchayatan style. Then we'll be writing the feature. Now before many of you face the problem when we write the temple picture, so some points or some point will miss, or sometime we'll miss the prominent point. So when we write the pictures of temple architecture, we'll go with the one direction. This is the temple. So we'll assume that we are entering into temple, and we'll see the way we see the picture that we are going to mention. First we'll mentioning about the Gopuram. So Chola period marked the high Gopurams. You can mention the examples of Brideshwara temple in Tanjore. Then second, high boundary walls. High boundary walls. Then what we'll see, that is then Mandapam. So you can here in Mandapam you can write about what are the major characteristics of, like, decoration was there. It was enclosed. So this kind of general aspect we can mention it here when it comes to Mandapam. Then next aspect is Garbhagriha. It was also within, it was surrounded by Mandapam, so that aspect we can mention here. Then we can mention about, one second. Then we can mention about the Vimanas. So Chola architecture also characterized by the high Vimanas. Again, the example of Brideshwara temple, to have some different example, you can mention the Brideshwara in Mahabalipuram. So this you can mention it here. Then again, the most striking picture is the presence of water tank. Then again, the Dwarpalas that made it distinct from the North Indian temple. Where North Indian we see the images of Ganga and Yamuna, but South India, the Dravidian architecture, we see the statues of Dwarpalas. And again, the hallmark, like when it comes to decoration part, that also we can write it here. So in decoration part, the sculptures they have erected on the walls, that is another distinctive feature. It shows the Bharatnatyam. Then Nataraja's statues or idols. Nataraja idol. This aspect we can mention here. So we are starting from, as we are entering into temple, we are starting noting down the characteristics of temple, and we are going, as we go forward, we are writing one by one. So answer is also having some flow, like evaluator is also, we are also having the imagination also. When person who will evaluate your copy, he will have some imagination that answer in coming in a well structured way. So this is also one of the aspect of content presentation. So this way you can approach the questions on temple architecture. Then the last part is conclusion. So when we conclude this Chola architecture, or this any kind of temple architecture, if it is given the UNESCO World Heritage status, we can mention that to UNESCO World Heritage status, and how it is increased or highlighted the legacy of the particular temple development, temple architecture. This we can mention in conclusion only. So this is where we are going to approach the temples. The question based on temple architecture. So what we see, to just sum up, in introduction we are writing the factual information. Structure, while structuring we are seeing, before going to structure we are decoding the context. Then we are structuring, while structuring we are assuming that we are going in way that we are entering into temple. So one by one we are enlisting the features, and then also to improve our presentation we are drawing the diagrams of temple, basic diagrams, and then concluding with linking it to UNESCO World Heritage site if that temple architecture got, or we can connect it to how it is highlight the Amrit Dharohar, or how it becomes a Amrit Dharohar for Indian civilization. So that way we can conclude this. Also the sample answer for this question, and also the questions in art and culture will be uploaded into Telegram channel of Spardha Lines, you can access that model answer from there only. Then next part is again the architecture part, but here they are asking the cave architecture, or just I said there would be overlapping terms or overlapping question. Now if we see, we have seen the architecture as a theme, then second theme is the culture. So the culture and architecture coming together. So while dealing with this question, how we'll see the how our what would be our approach to deal this converging themes. So if you see the question, Mesolithic rock cut architecture of India not only reflects the cultural life of that time, but also find aesthetic sense of comparable to modern painting. Now the critically evaluate. Now if you see the question has two themes, that is cultural life and also the modern painting. So we need to combine, write this separately, two demands, and also the theme would we can write about the architecture. Then fourth aspect is the directive word. Directive word is critically evaluate. So here we need to balance our answer. We need to be critically evaluate or need to critical viewpoint to analyze the culture, how the this rock cut architecture were compared to India development, or what was the critical viewpoint on that one. So again, when it comes to introduction, we are going with standard introduction. That we are going to write about the what are the period of Mesolithic period. So it was somewhere around 10,000 to 6,000. So this will mention again. It is about the rock cut architecture. So we will again mention the some prominent places like Bhimbetka, Lakhu Dyar. So these are the prominent places we can mention in the introduction itself. And again, to improve our presentation, we can draw the map of India, and also we can show the some these major places in map only. So this way we can improve the presentation. After writing the introduction, we are going with our first demand, that is it reflects the culture of the time, cultural life of the time. This would be our first demand. So first subheading will be the Mesolithic rock cut architecture reflects the cultural life of that time by following way. So we have seen when it comes to cultural life, we have the standard micro headings that we are going to use. First would be we can use the themes like about, we can talk about their social life. So social life was mostly based on community ownership. So the some kind of aspect like community gathering, these are depicted in Bhimbetka. We can example it as, use as an example here. Then next is the values. So in some Mesolithic picture paintings in Bhimbetka or the Lakhu Dyar, they mention that how the animal and human relation were there. So greatly this painting shows the love and fear towards animals. So we can mention the value of Sarva Bhuta Daya was prevalent in that time also. Then again we can mention about their dance forms. Mostly they were in community, they used to do community dances. So this aspect we can mention here. Again we can mention about the social bonding. Then gender aspect we can mention. So there was like presence of woman figure and a man figure. So it shows that there was considerable gender equality. So again after that we can write about the social orders. There are from Bhimbetka, there are examples where the hunters and gatherers, they are painted in different colors. So from that we can interpret that there was some kind of social division. So this aspect we can write about when it comes to cultural life. So basically again our points, micro headings are same. Some depending on the context we are bringing some more points. and again some basic information or example that mentioned in the NCERT or other basic notes, they are using as an example. So this is where we are presenting our content in first part. So now we'll move towards the second part. Now the second part is it also had the aesthetic sense comparable to fine aesthetic sense comparable to modern painting. So now again we'll face the problem when we see the modern painting, but we'll rather than going taking as a modern together, we'll see the basic aspects of painting. So if the question asks about the paintings of Chola, the paintings of Vijayanagara Empire, or the paintings of other empire dynasty or particular social period, that time we can use this particular theme. So here we can use the styles in painting, what kind of style it has used, then the themes, then colors. Also we can use the some representation, like a dynamic representation, like there would be different aspects of social life represented together. So this aspect we can bring it here. Also one more aspect when it comes to painting is that layering and spacing. So in paintings we see the superimposition, it is a prominent features. So on these standard point sub points we can write about the any the paintings of any period. So these standard points we are going to compare with now the modern painting and the Mesolithic paintings. So here in styles, if you see the they also used stick forms, also the water filled image, color filled images, so that we can connect it to cubic movement of cubic paintings of the present time. And also style in the same, again the geographic use of geography figures like a triangle, a circle. So this also we see in modern cubic painting, so that way we can compare it here. Again when it comes to theme, dance form, community gathering, that also we can connect, like Indian modern painting we can connect it to tamasha paintings of the British period. Then color used, they mostly used natural colors, and like modern painting also they also emphasize on natural color. So this way we can again connect it to, again the representation, what actually they represent, that way we can also interpret that representation, the values of society, the life of that society, how the modern paintings they comments on the social life of today's time. The same way the paintings in Mesolithic period also commented or they depicted that period of social life. So this also we can mention here. Layering and superimposition, if you see the come across Bhimbetka painting, then this is the one prominent feature, so where the superimposition was the prominent. So this way with our standard points we can compare the modern painting and bring the similarity between Mesolithic and modern painting. So after that, our third part of our question is that third part we are going to create depending on this directive word. Now it is asking critically evaluate. So we have seen the written that there was similarity between the modern painting and Mesolithic painting, but question is asking critically evaluate. So we need to be critical here, and we need to bring some points which says that modern paintings had the different style. Again the present when it comes to use of watercolor or depict the social issues or social life, they have some different viewpoint which is not seen in the Mesolithic painting. So again using the same points we can write the last part, that is critical part. Okay, so this is about the body part. We have seen the how to structure it, like we're depending on directive word we have made three parts. And again the way we presented content, we have the standard micro headings, and we are giving the example from the Mesolithic cave architecture, either it from Bhimbetka or Lakodiyar. So if you have the more example, you can use that also. Now the last part is conclusion. So when we were brainstorming, that time we seen that when we write the critical part of the answer in our second last team, then we are going to balance the answer in conclusion. So balance in the sense we are going to write positive conclusion. So here again you can use the word despite. So this word going to bring flow in our answer. Despite the difference, despite the Mesolithic paintings differ from the modern painting, still they are very crucial to increase our imagination or give the accounts on the life of the Mesolithic period. So this way we are going to mention the importance of Mesolithic painting in conclusion, and we are balancing our answer in conclusion only. So this is about our second theme, that is the convergence between two themes. Next theme is the Bhakti movement. Now when we were brainstorming, that time we have seen some standard points based on which we are going to write the question based on Bhakti movement. So now if we see the again here is the one context that many people will forget to decode. So the question is the Bhakti movement received remarkable reorientation with the advent of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you see question carefully, it is talking about reorientation. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu given the reorientation to Bhakti movement. So when we decode the reorientation, we need to write what was the actual approach or orientation of this Bhakti sons who were before the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this context we need to decode. First we will go through introduction. In introduction, again we are going to write the factual information such as what was his Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's period, what was his actual viewpoint, like he was the he was from Bhagavatism or Vaishnavism, you can mention. Also we can mention his region, that is East India, Eastern coastal India, that is Bengal and Odisha. So this aspect we can mention in introduction here. Then our actual body part starts. So before again in body part, the first important thing is decoding the context. So we were when we'll decode the context. So what was the orientation of previous Bhakti sons? Previous one. So to decode this, again we'll go with same way. Here we'll write what was the orientation of previous, then what was the actual done by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we can write here about their ideology. So they are either divided between Shaivism or Vaishnavism. This we can mention here. Then use of language. So many of the previous Bhakti sons, they use the local language, so they confine to specific region. That we can mention here. Then the way of preaching. Despite they had given the alternative, but ultimately they believed on the idol worship or temple going. So this way we can write what was the orientation of previous ones and what was the reorientation given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So here this is going to be our actual parts. So this we are going to expand in our body part. So first way, as we seen, we are going to write his way of preaching. Okay, so his emphasis was on bhakti. It is popularly known as Prem Bhakti, that we can mention it here. Then second is his teaching. So he preached gender equality, caste, religion, etc. This aspect we can bring it here. Again, next part we can explain his alternative given by him. In alternative we can write major emphasis was dancing. dance and singing to approach the god. This was the his alternative given by him. Then about his social base, he had quite bigger social base compared to previous bhakti saints. That aspect we can bring it here. Also we can bring his view on divinity. So based on these points we are writing how he given the reorientation. Also again part is the language. He used the Bengali, also he used Sanskrit language in some part to like preach it or popularize his teachings outside the Bengal region. So this way you can write it here. So based on these standard points, we are again able to write the answer. We have the standard micro headings, that is way of preaching, alternative given, social base, divinity, language, and we are giving examples from the particular son, that here it is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we are giving the example from his teaching or his work. So this is about the actual body part. Then the final part is the conclusion. When it comes to conclusion, here one more way we can write it here. We can connect it to present life. We can write how the ISKCON carrying the teachings of Sri Chaitanya in today's society and how it is becoming relevant today also. So this way we can conclude this question. Then the again theme is the converging question. Here previously we saw the converging themes. Now here is the converging two subjects. If we see the question, this was the very unique way of UPSC when they asked this question in 2023. Previously they used to combine the themes, but here they combine two subjects, ancient India and geographical, what were the geographical factors. So again in introduction, we are going to give overview of our answer. So here we can mention certain geographical factors like Himalayas in north, Thar desert in west, this Indian Ocean in the western, eastern and southern part of India helped in social, economical, political development of India. So again this development, the word we are interpreting in broader way. We are separating social development, economical development and political development. So as we were saying yesterday, we were saying the ancient history and medieval history question. That time we were using this aspect, that is social, economical and political. So same way we are going to deal with this question also. So as we have written introduction, then then would be our subheading, that is the major geographical factor that helped development of ancient India in following way. Before going to, we can draw the map of India here and show the major geographical factor, that is Himalaya, Thar desert and ocean. So and also the Ganga plain also we can show, Vindhya is in middle. Okay, so this way we can show the major geographical factors. Then we'll come to actual body parts. Again, one thing we need to remember is the question belongs to history, not the geography. So our major emphasis should be writing from perspective of history. So that's why we are dividing question on social development, economic development, political development. First, it is a major aspect. We can take the economical development. So even yesterday we were seeing that when we were writing about the economical development, we have standard 3 points. We are seeing the agriculture, we will write about the industry, then we will give the example here, agriculture. For example, how the northern or Gangetic plain helped in surplus food production that led to agriculture prosperity in India. Then industrial development, we can mention about the presence of plateau region, that is Chota Nagpur plateau, and presence of abundant minerals there that supported the development of industry such as copper industry, iron industry. So these were the major factors behind the establishment of Mahajanpada. So this aspect we can mention it here. Then the trade, when it comes to trade, we can mention about the ocean, that is Indian Ocean. So India had the flourish trade with the Roman Empire. So this also we can connect with this having the vast coastline. So this aspect we can write it here. This about economic development. Then we'll move towards the political development. So when it comes to political development, that is the stability in India. So if we see the till the like fall of the Maurya, India had the tremendous political stability that was helped by the Himalayas. So Himalayas successfully prevented external invasions. Then again the Thar deserts, it prevented invasions from the northwest India, northwest part. So this aspect we can mention it here. Then the in political development, again we can write the administration part. So if you consider the North India, then North India was the plain period. So at the plain, so there was developments of road and connectivity infrastructure. So administration was a big very crucially developed at that time. So this aspect we can mention it here. Then after the political development, we can mention about the social development. Last part would be social development. So in social development, again we are going to bring the same point what we used to bring it here. We talk about the diet. So you can again mention about the northern plain, Gangetic plain, where the food grain produced in abundant form. So people were vegetarian. When it comes to South India, vast coastline, and also in Eastern India, people prefer to go non-vegetarian. So this aspect we can mention here. And also attires. So during the North and South India, in different phases, they had to go through high temperature conditions. So there are differential development of attires, like South India they use the lungi, and North India the khadi was the khadi clothes were more prominent, dhoti was the prominent. So you can mention that aspect also. Then also development of spread, you can mention about the language. So the specifically geographical parts restricted the development of language. Then we can mention about dance forms. So when the when we want to bring connect the dance and geographical factor, then we can bring the there are various dance forms, or the festivals are also there. They performed during particular period, like onset of monsoon or onset of winter. We can give the example of Makar Sankranti. So this way we are going to write our answer. Again, the most important part is that cultural development. So you can use the example of Vindhyan region here. Vindhya de facto separated North India and South India. So there was the different political development, and that helped or that led to different cultural development in North India and South India. This aspect we can mention here. So whatever points we brainstorm or standard template we made in beginning while doing brainstorming, using that same microheadings we are going to tackle this question. We are changing the example based on the theme or context. So this way we are we are recording in social, political, economical way. So the last part is the conclusion. So when you do conclusion here, we can write the summary. So yes, the different geographical factor helped in development of ancient India. We can also link it to present time. So we can write how they are helping in development of present India. So not only in ancient India, still these geographical factors are helping in development of present India as a country. So this way we can bring the link the question to present time. This is about the convergence of this our subject. So last theme is the art. So when it comes to art, we have seen some standard subpoint. Before that, we'll see the question. Estimate the contribution of Pallava of Kanchi for the development of art and literature of South India. So there are two aspects here: art and literature of South India and the contribution of Pallava. So again, our introduction would be same. If we see the question as question is not have hidden demand or indirect demand, question is direct, so we can directly move towards the our actual question. So in introduction, what we'll write about the Pallavas. So again, the period, who founded, that Sima Vishnu, and then we'll mention about the art and literature. So we can mention about the prominent rulers who patronized this farm, that Mahendra Varman I and Narasimha Varman II. So we can mention their name. Though the Pallava Empire was established by Sima Vishnu, the actual flourishment of the art and literature of during Pallava Empire flourished during time of Mahendra Varman and Nandi Varman. So this can be our introduction here. So again, we are using some basic facts but going with our standard approach, that is factual introduction. Next part is structure and presentation. So when it comes to structure, we will divide the question into two parts. Again, the art will write separately and literature will write separately. When it comes to art, we have seen we are talking about the architecture. In architecture, we can write about temples, how the temple started as a mandapam, then moved towards the monolithic rock cut temple, and finally they developed into structural temple. So this we can mention. The cave temples, nothing but the mandapam, that aspect we can mention it here. Then second, after architecture, we can mention about the paintings. So in some temple there are prominent Pallava, they were the actually Mahendra Varman mentioned in with various names like Vichitra, Chitrakara, Puli. So this, in fact, UPSC asked this question in prelims. So this aspect we can mention it here. Then sculptures. So when it comes to sculptures, there is Yali pillars in mandapams. So this is the major sculpture developed during the Pallava period. Then again, we can mention about the cultures. And again, when it comes to culture, linguistic development. Then we can mention about the further we can go towards the religion. So beginning of the Bhakti movement in South India actually started this time. So these aspects we can mention when it comes to art form of the period. Again, we can bring the more points depending on the theme. If you know more points, you can write, but you need to prepare the standard template, and these points we are going to use while answering the question. Okay, and when it comes to sculpture, this is the most prominent, that Arjuna's penance in Mahabalipuram. That is the more prominent. You can use that example. Then second part, we are going to write about literature, that we have not written here. When it comes to literature, again we can present in very effective way. That way we can divide literature into secular literature and religious literature. Also based on the language, this is based on the nature. Again, we can divide based on language, that's Sanskrit literature and Tamil literature. So again, we can make the two major subheadings, and below that again we can make two micro headings, the secular, religious in nature of literature, and language used, that Sanskrit and Tamil. And one example we can give it here. So again, we are the second part of answer we are presenting in other effective and structuring in some different way. So this is about the actual questions, the art theme. So, and the last part is the conclusion. So conclusion, we are going to highlight the legacy of Pallava. Okay, yeah, we can commit it to Shrestha Bharat, Ek Bharat Shrestha Bharat. We can say it is formed the base for Ek Bharat Shrestha Bharat. So this way, or we can link it to Amrit Dharohar. So using any kind of keyword, we can conclude this question. Okay, this is about the 5 themes we have found in PYQs, and depending on this theme, we are created theme specific template. Also we have one standard template. When we see the theme, we are try to blend the theme with respect to the template with respect to theme. So this is about the today's. We are giving you 2 questions to practice question to write to answer. These also the previous year questions which are based on this recurring theme. You can write the answers and let us know that in comment section. You can post it, and we will get it evaluated for free. Tomorrow we are coming with the modern history. Thank you for today.